I'm CK. Today we're going to build another kit from that 5-in-1 box I got from eLearntronics. I'll try to link it in the description. Hopefully I won't forget this time. We're going to do logic gates today, and we'll see what we can learn from it. And I hope you enjoy the video. Here's the bag. And one other thing I'm doing today, I'm trying a different microphone because my Nikons, as you see, I got this one rubber banded together, so I driving to various places that they're kind of falling apart, and Nikon's not making them anymore, so I got a Movo one. I don't know much about that. But let's see what's in here. Got another card from them, which includes a resistor color band chart, which is always good. Good circuit board, good quality. Learn your logic. And it's got LEDs, it's got a bunch of resistors, it's got transistors that you're going to be toggling on and off to turn on the various gates. We've got AND gates, OR gates, NOT gates, NOR gates, NAND gates, XOR, and XNOR. And then here's a little matrix that's showing you what your result will be. And A and B, oh, those are LEDs and two switches. So we'll see. I guess we're going to be turning on and off various gates with these switches. And then we've got all the values listed for the components, so we don't need a build guide, which is good because their build guides are YouTube videos and I don't want to watch them. Here's a whole bunch of transistors. Are they all the same? If they're not all the same, then I am going to have to figure this out. They're 547s, and I can't see that. 547s, I think. These are a little faded on this one. Oh yeah, that's 547B. And these are 547Bs. So all the transistors are the same value, which is handy. Got our resistors. We should have 470s, which are current limiting for the, that's these. It's current limiting for the LEDs. And then these are all 10K resistors. And we've got a 9-volt battery snap cap and the LEDs. Let me get my LED buddy out and look. It's a green LED, so I'm betting it's going to take about 2 volts of voltage. Let's take a look at it. And yeah, 2.0 volt, and at 5 volts it's 470 ohm current limiting. So we're all I'm going to dump these into this bin. It's handier. Then we've got screws and little standoffs to set this up. Now, interestingly, these are hex screws. These are not slotted or cross tip, and they're machine. They've got the knurling on the side. These are more expensive. For you and me, buying like 20 of them or even 100 of them, that doesn't. It'll be minimal, but if you're buying them in 1,000 lots or something, that's more. So we got little tack switches, and then the power connector. So I think I'm just going to roll in to making this. How much time do I got on the overhead? I have 25 minutes left on the overhead camera. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So we will go to town here, but the first thing we're going to do, as is typical, is we're going to do all the resistors, and there are a bunch of them. So we'll do the 10Ks first, and let's give one a try. I think we can bend the leads right up against the body, and we can. They fit perfectly that way, like so. Now we'll solder that one, just to see how everything's going live. Oh, very well. And again, since this is a dual layer board, all the component holes are through hole, so you can see the solder leak through the other side, weep through the other side, and that's good, because that makes sure you have a good strong connection and it won't corrode either. Not like this is going to corrode, but if you're thinking about it for longer term. So that's all there is really to say about resistors, and I've got 20 some odd, maybe even 20 some odd to do. So I will just go ahead and turn the commentary off, speed up the video playback, and probably cut a bunch of it out, because there's not much to see except me putting resistors on and soldering. If you ever want to see all the details, just watching me solder with no commentary, let me know. Maybe it's an ASMR thing you'd like to enjoy. I don't know. But while I'm doing this, I hope you enjoy resistor time. That was all for resistor time, and there's all the resistors on the board. Next, we're going to put all of the transistors on. I already cut them off their little paper strip. You didn't need to see that. So we've got on the board, it's really straightforward. There's a flat side, and you want to put the flat side of the transistor to match that. And I'll do one. And when I do transistors, a fella long ago told me do the middle pin first. That'll make it more likely that you won't bridge when you're doing soldering them up. So barring no other reason to do it a different way, that's what I do. So again, just kind of like resistors, we've talked about the only thing I really want to talk about, two things that I want to talk about with transistors. So I will once again mute the commentary and speed up the playback and probably cut some of it out. So I guess you can kind of enjoy transistor time right now. All the transistors are on. They're a little snaggly, but I didn't care about that. Now we're going to put all the diodes on, and as you look at the board, you'll see there's a square hole and a round hole, and there's also a flat side here. For diodes, the cathode or negative side has a flat side on the diode, and it's the shorter leg, and that will go in the square hole. Shorter leg in the square hole. That's different from electrolytic capacitors. But just double check your flat sides too. And if you ever can't find the flat side, take the diode and roll it across the table, and you'll see it'll stop with the flat side down. And as you can see, that's got the short leg. So that, for these large ones, it's not a big deal, but if you have a diode that does not have, that's already had the leads trimmed by somebody or something, you may not know, may not be able to see where the flat side is. So again, just roll it on your workbench and it will stop with the flat side down. Now the way I'm going to approach these is I'm going to solder one leg of each. And now to make sure they're kind of tidy on the board, because they're a little cattywampus, some of them, I'm going to press on the top of it with my index finger and reheat that solder joint. It might move, it might not, but that just makes sure it gets flat to the board there. That one moved a little bit. And that dressed them all up pretty well. So I'll solder the other legs. And that's all the LEDs. Not much left to go now. We'll put the tactile switches on now. Actually, I'm not going to solder them, I'm just going to set them in place because they grip. Their legs are got little bends in them, so they grip pretty well. They are rectangular but not square, so it's near impossible to get them wrong. I'm going to put the switch on right now and get a little piece of foam to support that while I solder it. Now we'll put the power connector on. It's keyed, so it would be, again, near impossible for you to get that on wrong. And that is all the soldering for this kit. Now we'll put the little legs on. We don't have to, but we're gonna. Again, just put the screw through, spin the spacer on. I'm not going to use a wrench on it or a Allen wrench because it doesn't need to be that secure. It's not, we're not mounting this on anything. It's just to get it up off the workbench so you don't have anything grounded accidentally. Now, one thing I'm going to do now, because there are a lot of solder points, I'm going to go through and look at each solder line, make sure everything has been soldered and there are no shorts that I can see or bridging. And it all looks okay, so let's get ready to see what this does. I'm going to turn this light off because we're going to be working with LEDs. I'm going to use one of my rechargeable 9-volt batteries. I use EBL for no other reason than I've had great success with them. I got no relationship with them. Okay, let's turn it on, and we've got things going on already. A and B are both out, and with A and B out, if you go through the table, the NAND gate, which is not AND, 0 and 0 from A and B, gives you a signal of 1 for the NAND gate. That's on. Same thing with NOR, not OR. 0, 0, which means it's not A or B, is 1. And then the NOT value, where is NOT? Not sure I'm getting that right. Out, out, both on. Now what's happening here is as I click these buttons, it turns on legs in the transistor and allows current to flow. So now we've got input A is 1, and with input A being 1, the AND gate should be off, and AND is off. And the OR gate should be on, which it is. And the XOR should be on also, and that's over here. And then everything else, the NAND, not AND, should also be on, and that's on. And now we'll do both A and B signals input, so the AND is on now. OR continues to be on because it's 1 or it's A or B or both. And XNOR is also on. Exclusive not OR. So if you look at the XNOR on 1. So that's it. So you can practice looking at what various inputs to logic gates will do. Again, now we go to B, OR is still lit up, XOR is still lit up. Not AND, because it's only one of them, is on. So that's the way it works. And keep in mind, the device you're watching this video on has millions and potentially billions of logic gates like this inside it to bring you this video and everything else you have in your computer, tablet, smartphone, or whatever. So this is a good little tool to learn with. I like it. It went together pretty well. And I hope you enjoyed the video.